and running, and let's see if we have sound, because I can't seem to get that under control each time. Let's see here. If you're on tonight, give me a shout out. Let me know you're watching. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. If you're on tonight, give me... Sounds on. Awesome. Happy Sunday night. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, crafty friends. This is Tara with Tara Beth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. And tonight we are going to do a vertical stand fun fold. Hey, Johnny, thanks for joining. So this is a perfect card for sympathy, but I also thought it would be great for those family members that we may have in the hospital, a friend, you know, they need something for their room. You could send this to them, and this is going to be something that you can hold, that it'll pop up and sit. And then it's got all the beautiful sentiments inside. So part of the reason I did this card is this week, starting on Tuesday, that's August the 5th, Stampin' Up! Is going to have a in-color sale. So that's anything that contains Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, Strawberry Slush, or my very favorite Timid Tiger. So I wanted to use some products that have those colors, and so the beautiful gallery has that Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. So that's where I'm starting this week, is with those two colors. I did a lot of prep. This is a super easy card. The big thing is is the cutting. Lots and lots of cutting. Hey Denise, thanks for joining. So I've done all this cutting. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping first, and then we are going to put the card together. All right, so let's bring out our envelope. We have a piece of, let me see here. All these measurements are on my blog. They're part of the PDF that will be available tomorrow on my blog, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down, because I'll be honest, there's a lot of dimensions on this card, and I don't know exactly. I can't remember what all I did. So, all right. So I have a piece of basic beige. So in my original card, I put basic white on the inside. I thought it would be really pretty with the basic beige, so that, hey, Mary, thanks for joining, so that the basic beige will go along with the card front. So I'm just using basic beige instead of the basic white. So I'm going to pull these out. I've got a couple of sentiments that I've got from the beautiful Motifs set. So this is thinking of you, and then I'm always here for you, that's going on the inside. I also use the scroll. Hey Angie, thanks for joining. Yes, Carrie, thanks for joining. Yes, Mary, I agree. Basic beige is the way to go, and I can't believe I didn't do it initially. Hey Sharon, thanks for joining. All right, so I'm going to take my Secret Sea. Once again, that's going to be part of the sale tomorrow, starting Tuesday, the 5th. And I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment right in this narrow piece for the inside. Then I'm going to take my Thinking of You, and I've cut this basic beige using the Unbounded Love die set. So I'm just going to line this up and give this a nice quick stamp. Part of the reason I'm doing this first is because this Secret Sea is a dark pigment ink, so it is going to take a minute to dry. So I'm going to give that a second. Now, I wanted to use Cloud Cover ink. Now, the problem is we all know, oh no, see, look at that ink. Already an ink-tastrophe. Let's see if I can find my... Yeah, we're going to try to fix this real quick. So what I have is I have a sand eraser that I use anytime I get little specks of ink. Yep, now it's gone. Didn't even happen. All right, so if you need that information on where to get one of those, reach out to me and I'll do that. So as I was saying, Cloud Cover, they had some problems with the formulation. So what I have done is I've bought a Cloud Cover ink refill, and then I get the uninked Stampin' Spots. And so I filled that up, so that's my Cloud Cover that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up, and with these ink spots, it's a little better to do ink to stamp instead of stamp to ink. So I'm going to add that along there. I'm going to stamp it off. So that's that really pretty color. And I'm just going to do it right there in the corner. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Yes, everyone, I agree, Mary. A sand eraser and the gum ribbon or rubber eraser. Yes, every crafter needs those in their repertoire, all of their stuff. So you can see that it's just barely showing up, and that's what we want. We want that just barely there look. And these two colors coordinate so well. So I'm going to do it one more time because I want it on my envelope as well. Just kind of hanging off there. So that's really all the stamping we're going to do today. Now we're going to throw this card together. And I'll tell you, it's not as hard as one would think. Although, I don't have my score lines. Let's see here. We'll pull that PDF up and get it off of there. Okay, now I'm going to bring out my Simply Score tool. And what I have is I have a 5.5 by 8 inch piece of cloud cover. And I am going to score at 1.5. Hold that tight there. I'm going to score at 2 3/4. I'm going to score at 5 1/4. And then I'm going to score at 6.5. There we go. Now I can take that off there. Okay. So this is basically your card base. So this is the folding portion right here. And then we're going to just adhere it to what is truly the card base, which is a 5.5 by 4 1/4. So just a standard piece. Hey, Lori, you're not late. Thanks for joining. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the two inner score lines. We're going to fold those in. And hopefully I have a bone folder around here. I thought I had everything so that I wasn't twirling things, but then I had to go look for my other thing. Well, I'm going to pull one off this little guy because we want a nice good crease. So I'm going to fold both of the inside score lines in. Okay, and then now I'm going to fold out. And then the two in the middle, you can see will meet right in the middle. There we go. So this is your mechanism. So we're going to put that to the side. Here's our, okay. So now I have all of my Secret C and DSP measurements. So this is like 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And so I just have a Secret C mat that we're going to adhere it to. So this is once again one of those really heavy cards, so it may require a little extra postage. You'll have to weigh it to make sure it makes it under the mark. It's definitely thick as well. Okay, so there's that first layer. Now, the cool thing about this sale that starts with the in colors is you can use those sale prices to get more bang for your buck in a starter kit. And then you can turn around and see all the beautiful things from the new mini catalog and add that to the starter kit as well. So yeah, new mini catalog, got to see it Wednesday. We get to order Tuesday. I can tell you the Christmas, the fall. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. It is all just, I can't even tell you. Love, love, love. All right, here we go. So this is the one that's gonna go inside our flaps. So you've got lots of little layers here that we're adding. And then there's one set that's all by itself that's gonna go on this outside right here. So all of these dimensions, once again, will be on my blog because I didn't write down how big they all are. I guess I could have pulled the PDF, but you guys don't want to hear all that. Okay, so now we have all of our little layers. The only thing we have left is this front piece. And I didn't cut that because I wanted to show you guys how to do this. So this is, I am going to have to look. This is 4 1/4 or 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, so what I've got is I've got this whole piece. So you'll want to look at something like this when you're doing a scene like this, and you need to decide. So what I kind of do is I kind of play around with it and go, okay, so this is, what did I say, 3 1/4? Yeah, 3 1/4. So I decide I put it on the trimmer and go, okay, so this is what the scene is. I really want this tree over here, so I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to cut at 3 1/4 here. Now the other thing is this is a 6 by 6 piece, so that's extra. So do I want more of the tree or do I want more of the sky? And I feel like I want more of the sky. So I'm going to take this around and go in that direction. And I'm going to trim just that bottom portion. Obviously, yes, Julianne, this is what I think I've used all of mine for this particular one. I almost didn't, I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough for this particular card to do 2 of them. And I think I've got like 5 packages of this, so I really like it too. All right, so that's, oops. Looks like it's time to change my blade as well. All right, so that's gonna be this piece right here. Ooh. Which I didn't cut. So let me trim that too. So that's 3 1/4, so that's gonna be 3 3/8 for our mat. Now let's double check and see if it's 5 1/4. Yep, 5 3/8. All right, so there is that piece. Well, I'll just throw it on the ground there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add that on here. And this is all time. We can throw this card together pretty quick now. Thanks, Karen. I'm glad you like it. All right. Here we are. Okay, so now that we've got all of our mat pieces, we kind of need to throw them together and make sure we have 2, 2, and 1. So there's 2, 2, and 1. And then, so I guess it's 1, 2, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to start with the card base and work our way up. So we're going to add this small strip. We've got 2 of these. So we're going to add it to each side of our card panel. All right, and now we'll add this one onto this card panel. Now, this is kind of the rough part. We are going to adhere this on, and I'm going to use 3 strips of seal here. Now, you can always use, well, wouldn't you know it? Time to change that out. I think I have to change this out every week when I'm doing this. Luckily, I keep those refills pretty close. Hey, Becky, thanks for joining. All right, let's see here. This is usually when I take a minute and clean off any residual glue that we get in that corner, because sometimes that glue has a tendency to stick up in those corners. So I go ahead and clean that off and then load that back up. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now let's get back to it. Now we're going to add like 3 strips of seal here. And it doesn't matter if I go which direction I go because it's exactly the same on each side. The most important part is to try to get it centered as well as you can and then make it flush at the top and the bottom. So we want to keep it straight and flush. And I'll take that. Now I'm going to rub that down there. Let's go ahead and start adhering. Ooh, that one's good. We'll adhere that to the inside. These little guys, so the second size layers are going on the inside. So these are like the middle ones. We're just adding those layers. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Becky. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you know when I'm live every night as well. All right, so we'll fold that in. And now this is going on this outside. All right, I don't see Karen K on, but I need to remind you that right now we've got signups for our technique class. That's going to be a virtual class on the 24th of August. All you have to do is purchase $50 from our online store and the class is free for you. All right, so we have this side. Now this is going to be the piece that goes right in the center. Now you're gonna have a little bit of a lip on each side because that mat is smaller. So I go ahead and add my seal directly to this so I can line it up as I need it. So if you need information on that class, let me know. We've got different techniques. We're gonna be using some two-tone cardstock. We're gonna do some triple time stamping. We're going to be using the iridescent bags from the Fright Night collection. So a lot of different things that we're going to be doing. So you'll come out with 6 different ideas and lots of paper crafting techniques. All right, so there's that card base. Super simple. The biggest thing is cutting everything out. That's where everything comes from. All right, so I have a piece of Secret Seed that I cut up with the Unbound Love dies. And I'm going to take some linen thread, and I'm going to add just a little bit of seal on the end of each side on the back. Now with linen thread, when you first unroll it, it is super, super, super curly. So what I do is I just kind of run it through my fingers to kind of straighten it out so it's a little easier to work with. So I'm going to add that right there, and then I'm going to twist it around 3 times. All right. Pull these 2 together. There we go. And there we are. So that seal on the ends is all we're going to need for it to hold it in place. So I'm going to turn it around and make sure it looks okay, which it does. And then we'll give it a little snip here. Okay. And if you missed on my Facebook, Becky B is the proud owner of that new Strawberry Slush craft tote. We gave that away on Saturday. And actually, Becky lives in my hometown, so I'm going to be able to deliver it to her personally during Card Club this week. So I'm really excited for that. So stay tuned for pictures. All right. I'm just sticking some dimensionals right here on the front, on each side. Yes, congratulations to Becky. On each side of the ribbon, or the twine. And hopefully, yes, that's going to work. We'll seal that right there. So this is a really great way. I love the linen thread with this particular setup. And now we're going to add some more dimensionals back here on this piece. And we're just about done. Okay, we're going to center this up as well as possible down here on the bottom. And then I have some textured dots. And we're going to add a couple of those. I think this rustic look from the dots looks really good with this particular pattern. All right, there's today's card. The only thing we have left is to add a little designer series paper to that back of that envelope so that whoever gets it in the mail will know they're getting something gorgeous and truly appreciate how pretty it is. That you took the time and the attention to make something beautiful for them. All right, a little snip. So as I said, In Color sale starts Tuesday. Don't miss out on that. If you make that $50 purchase from that sale stuff, you'll get that free techniques class. That'll be August the 24th. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it, you will still get to enjoy those techniques. Starter kit, you get to add all sorts of new stuff in there. So if you want to get that Christmas card stuff started early, give me a shout. I'd love for you to join us. Here's tonight's card. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday night with me. I'll be back next week with probably Christmas. Fall or Christmas, because I got to share this new stuff. You guys have a great week.